Have you worked in intelligence before, Philip?
I worked briefly in O&I near the end of my tour.
What you're going to be doing here is less advanced than that. Only counterintelligence gets new toys. Over there, it's 1959. And here, it's the 30s. You're going to make calls for us. You will get your list of calls to make from a piece of paper inside your office that will be provided. Once you're done for the night, throw the paper in the trash can in your office. No one will bother you unless someone higher up in the company needs to speak with you. Since you're covering the night shift, it's imperative that if the piece of paper says do not talk, that you do not talk. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Drop the sir. The only men here that want to be called sir are the counterintelligence freaks. All right, then. You're all set. You can start tonight. The paper will be sent to you shortly.
Great, thanks.
Boss needs to see you. 12th floor, third door on your left.
You must be Mr. Saint. Please, come in and sit down. I'll cut to the chase. I need you to make a specific phone call to a person you have never called before. The nature of this call is highly classified. Its contents will not leave this room. I need you to call the 112th Military Intelligence Group in 4th Army Headquarters in Fort Sam Houston. I need you to tell them this simple message. Stand down. We will be handling security. If the unit commander thinks it's a mistake, pull rank and order it. Regardless of what you are thinking right now, this call must be made. It does not matter who does it. I only asked for you because of your consistency over the past 2.5 years with us. I don't have to tell you what making this call will do for your career. I see the gears turning in your head already. The choice is yours, but it must be tonight.
Can you tell us what happened when you were 12 years old?
When I was 12, I was attending the local boys' camp to better myself. My mother had saved every coin and dollar she can get her hands on to send me there, so I could learn how to be a man. One night, June 20th, I believe, I was shaken awake by one of the camp counselors, who gave me a cookie and then led me out of my cabin into the woods. We came upon a door in the woods, a large metal door in the ground. The counselor opened it up and the light flooded out. Mind you, it was late at night, maybe even past midnight at that point, so my vision went white as soon as the door opened. When my eyes adjusted to the light, the gray walls had started to melt and the fluorescent lamps had halos around every bulb. We kept walking until we came to a large empty room that had a large stage with a podium on it, raised above everything else in the room with a large drop-off. With curtains and wall decorations that swirled in all directions. I looked up at the ceiling and my vision started to spin, rotate clockwise. Not because of anything up in that ceiling, just on its own. The room was spinning like a washing machine. I was taken up to the podium where a man was standing in his Sunday best. He was staring out into the drop-off past the podium. I only saw the back of his head, and the smell of ozone filled the room. A different man from the counselor grabbed my left hand, placed it on the podium, raised a sickle made out of glowing metal, and in a flash, my hand was gone. I didn't even feel it, and the room was still spinning. The man in the suit said a strange combination of words, and a five-legged creature with no face appeared, floating in the empty space past the stage. It ran forward and shook the suit man's hand, which started glowing. Then everything went black, and when I woke up, I was back in a cabin.
You think it might have all been a dream?
I've gone back and forth on it over the years, but I don't think it was. If it was a dream, why'd I wake up in the wrong cabin?
That's your uncle, Eddie?
Yeah, he sent it to us a couple years back. We stopped talking to him since then.
And you never brought it up before?
No, it kind of came out of nowhere to us. He's in an institution now. Hopefully he's getting better.
Jesus, I thought my acid incident was weird. Got me beat by a country mile. There any truth? What he said?
Not really. The boys' camp was exposed for harboring abusers, but no one ever found a door in the woods, nor an extensive tunnel network with a large stage in a black room. The doctors think it's just a fantasy to cover up the abuse that likely happened to him. At least, I hope that's all it is. Imagine you having to go through the crazy shit like that and no one believes you. I'd go nuts too. Sorry for the downer. I got another weird story that definitely isn't as dark.
You better not be lying, I swear to God. Plus, I've heard all your stories. What could you possibly have that you haven't told me before?
Well, to be fair, you never asked me about my weird stories before.
Oh, well, what's another one?
When I was like 7, I went downstairs to grab something from the fridge. This is when I lived in Truth or Consequence. You know, the town in New Mexico named after the game show.
I never knew you lived there.
Yeah, this is before we met. We moved to Arizona a few years later. Anyway, I was going downstairs at like 9 p.m. and the landline suddenly rang.
I am an artificial intelligence on board the flagship. You are a smart mind. For that, you have a choice to make. Say yes or no. If you say yes, you will meet up with others like you in 2 decades.
Finally! Now we know where your narcissism comes from, Eddie. Though, I'm not sure I can blame you. If an alien computer said I was smart and special, I'd internalize the shit out of that, too.
Glad that was the takeaway from my story.
I mean, what else could it be?
Is this why you keep trying to make everything in our meetings be accepted in triplicate? To curb my narcissism? Jesus, I'm kidding. You think I only care about making sure Politics Club runs smoothly?
Easy there. It's a bit more than a politics club. We protested successfully in a lot of venues over the past few years. We're a real presence.
Hardly, and it certainly doesn't help that you can't get your people to protest on the same day as ours.
That wouldn't have made a difference anyway.
Yeah, right. Like 2 groups of 30-some people protesting on different days is just as effective as 60-some people protesting on the same day.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, whatever, man. Don't you have to go to work soon?
Unfortunately, yes, I do. I must go waste away, pouring drinks for men filled with regret.
Yeah, like those top brass military guys don't tip 50% every time.
Well, that's only if you get them talking about the problems, like how they signed a paper many years ago that caused some terrible tragedy off in some jungle.
You ever see Senator Goddard there?
Yeah, I've seen Jack a couple times. There's a man who needs love, good God. Real Nixon type. Craziest mommy issues you've ever heard. No wonder his own party can't get him to fall in line.
You sick fuck.
Hey man, if they're giving their money away, there's nothing wrong with prodding them a little bit.
Mind if I see you later then?
Of course, man, you don't gotta sell your soul to drink at the Jolly Anchor.
like housewife or in a suit and a tie.
Arthur, to you I have delivered the ultimate betrayal. Judas himself could not have laid you lower. That Excalibur should never have been turned on you, my king. 1,000 maladies on myself and those who broke the table. Cast us out! 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 Cast us out!
Jesus Christ, what was that?
What, that? There's someone like that every night. Some old timer ranting and raving about some horrible shit they did.
And the cleanup crew?
Yeah, that is new. I don't know about that. Maybe pay security or something like that?
Did you happen to catch the general's name?
Yeah, Saint or something like that. He doesn't come around here very often.
Works for me. I gotta go.
You didn't even get to drink.
It's fine. I have to have a clear head for research anyway.
Oh, I know that look. I should never have told you that general's name.
You shouldn't have.
Not again. Not again. Can't happen again.
We have a problem, Mr. Arrow. Is this a bad time?
Depends on the severity of the problem.
It seems, sir, that General Saint has suffered a psychotic break. And now he's convinced that there's a government plot to assassinate the president.
Well, that's not even true. The president's playing ball with everyone right now.
I know, sir.
Do we know what brought this on?
That's the thing, sir. It seems that 2 of our recent Academy graduates, as part of their celebration, were attempting to prank the general by enrolling him in the program. It seems they succeeded.
Which program?
The program.
Aw, hell.
Yes, sir. Sir?
Keep an eye on him. It's very possible that Saint is off the board and nothing more. Make it minimal, and don't antagonize him. I'd prefer not to get rid of him if possible.
Yes, sir.
Jesus, man, there you are. I'm looking all over for you.
I've just been researching.
For 3 days? Come on, man.
You wouldn't believe the shit I found, dude. You know that general that got dragged out of the bar yelling? Turns out he's a big deal. He ran a weird thing called Aleph Labs from the mid-60s to the late 80s. During that time, he oversaw the development of a more fuel-efficient ICBM as well as a ton of nuclear technology, from vehicles to weapons to alternate transportation.
Okay, and?
See, here's the thing. After Saint left Aleph, he was promoted to a general and took on a more political role. This distance between him and the lab made it easy for him to invest his money into the new companies using the technology he developed during his tenure at Aleph.
So you figured out the top-level officials are corrupt. Incredible work.
It's weirder than that. Over the years, Saint has gotten more egotistical. He wants complete ownership over the companies that were making his technology. There were a ton of these companies, too. Doesn't seem like he wants to part with any of them now. Conch Technologies, Sand Dollar International, Scallop Clam Co., Limpet Industries. You think it could have been one of those companies that sent the Bagmen?
Conch Technologies. If I remember correctly, that's heavily invested in by our favorite love-lost Senator Jack Goddard. Maybe Goddard sent those guys after Saint to screw with him to get him off the board.
Not sure. Goddard's been flip-floppy on nuclear technology recently. Seems excessive just to get Saint off his back, even though Goddard doesn't even like nuclear technology all that much.
Yeah, but who else is gonna hire 2 guys to drive the general away? You think the CIA or the feds are gonna hire some people to do that? No way, man. Someone owed Goddard a favor, I bet, and he used it to get more money out of those companies. I would even bet there's probably some operation going on around here. I've seen lots of large missile tubing move up and down the highway on the way to work.
Possible, I guess. Would explain how those guys were so efficient if they weren't feds. Either way, gotta get going.
What now?
Well, if your crackpot theory is true, it would do us some good to go check out some local missile silos to see if anything has changed recently.
Fair enough. Man, where are we even going?
You would think an abandoned missile silo would be easier to find.
They're underground. How would we find them on the surface?
Well, abandoned silos are either turned into museums, like the Titan II silo, or they're just left in the dust. Oh, there should be an actual abandoned silo somewhere around here.
What's that? Would you look at that? A subsidiary of Conch Technologies.
Guess your theory has legs. What's this church? Do you recognize the name?
Nope, never heard of it. Gotta be pretty fringe.
Maybe worth looking into, especially if there's a connection with Goddard and Conch, like you said there was.
For sure. I wonder... We gotta tell the rest of the guys about this.
The current situation is that General Saint believes in a conspiracy to assassinate the president and seeks to stop it by summoning the Aztec god of rain. We do not know what that entails, nor what he thinks it will do. How do we deal with this?
Why don't we just kill him?
I appreciate your mindset, but given that Saint is a big player in DC, as well as him backing us for decades, makes me hesitant. If one day he wakes up normal, we will have lost a key ally.
Why not enroll him in the program?
Saint has already been enrolled in the program, which is what triggered the psychotic break. We don't need to puree his brain any further.
Is there anything indicating Saint's ritual will do anything?
Not currently.
Why not schedule the Kurgan test for the day his ritual commences? Fulfill his fantasy?
That might work. Make him think. Turn that off. Turn that off. Turn that off. Turn that off. That's better. Find the date of the ritual. Call Aleph Labs. Get them to reschedule the test.
They cut their phone lines. Can't contact them for the next year.
Fine. I'll tell them myself.
What about the Church of the Bladed Tongue?
What about them? They aren't involved here.
Right, but some local agitators are thinking that they are.
That's handled. No problems there.
Anything else? Good.
What do you want to show me here, man? The protest starts in like 20 minutes.
Not much longer now. This happens every 33 days.
What?
Yeah, well, you're gonna want to have something flashy to get people to pay attention to, right? Apparently this area is notorious for weird phenomena that happen around every month or so.
Where'd you get that from?
Some couple of websites that look like they're from about 2005.
That's why you wanted us to protest here instead of at Goddard's office? Jesus Christ, why do I ever listen to you?
Path under the earth, to you alone I speak. You, oldest and most primeval, I make this offering of salient and fresh blood, drawn from the necks of the fallen and their brood. They did not know to what purpose their life would be given to. I ask for them to prosper in your eternal springtime, for they were innocent, so innocent. For myself, I implore you to bring fire down onto this horrid rock. Replicate the wrath given to the third son. Wash away the evils allowed to fester. Turn your buckets upon mankind. To do this I command thee, ninth lord of the night. Erase our lives. Drown our souls in your glorious flood. I bind thee, Tlaloc. Save us all. Break the wheel of history.
All right, boys. You've had your fun. Mr. Knock, I need you to come with me, please, so I can debrief you.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm with the government. I'm here to make sure you're not hurt.
Only Eddie? Why can't I come?
Yes, Mr. Flint. I need to speak with you alone. Mr. Knock, if you could please head down. There's a car waiting for you at the bluff.
Why can't I hear what you have to say?
I will not ask again.
Why can't I come? All the information I provided?
Yes, your information has been useful. The company appreciates your collaboration.
Where's Flint?
The company is going to move him onto a different beat now. We no longer need him in your group.
You've been monitoring our group?
For some time now.
Why? We haven't done anything major.
We wanted to ensure that continued. Now, young man, you have a choice to make. You can either do nothing regarding the display you have just seen. You can go on living your life as nothing has happened. Any attempt to talk about your experiences will net nothing but dismissal. Or you can become an asset for us. You would run some sort of media movement of your choice regarding similarly strange flying objects. You could explain what happened today for millions of adoring believers. The choice is yours, but it must be today.
Can I ask you something before I make my choice?
You can ask. Sure.
What's the Church of the Bladed Tongue? The church is inside an abandoned silo?
The sect is, so no one ever bothers them.
Blitze und Elektrizität in allgemein bilden die Körper betrügen. Aber lassen Sie sich nicht vor einem Namen, Ihren Namen täuschen. Betrüger können mehr als nur täuschen. Sie sind Brücken, Abgesandte, die uns zu einem ein fruchtbares Ziel zu erreichen. Schließlich wollen sie nicht etwas auf der Ebene der Menschheit beschwören. Sie wollen etwas Weiteres, etwas Tieferes, etwas mit einem wahren Namen. Wahre Namen sind göttlich, deren Besitzer ihren Titel und nur ihren Titel den aufzwingen, die ihr Publikum erhalten. Boten oder Spalter, es ist egal, welcher Macht sie dienen. Beide rasen um das Blut das Gleiche. Blut fungiert als Tor zwischen dem Physischen und dem Physischen, zwischen Elektron und Positron. Die Jenseitigen werden von ihm angegossen wie Haie, die am Äther kreisen und darauf warten, dass der auf dem Beschwörer, der einen wahren Namen ausspricht, etwas anbieten. Das mehr ist als Blut, ein Organ oder ein Körperteil, vor allem etwas, das einem wahren Namen entspricht. Schränkst du die Möglichkeiten ein, wenn du herbeirufst. Wenn die Genug erschränkt, beschwörst du etwas. Dessen Namen direkt mit an dem übereinstimmt, was man in Ordnung bringen will. Die Alten hatten Recht mit ihren Gesetzen. Auge um Auge.
Good evening, Cardinal.
Oh, Mr. Hand, how splendid. What's the occasion?
Fulfilling a question. Eddie here wants to know more about your church.
Wonderful. You're just in time, young man. There's actually a ritual going on right now.
What levers revolt now?
Why does this exist?
To keep the gears turning in the right direction.
Today, on the Senate floor, Senator Jack Goddard voted to support more funding for various nuclear weapons and technology developers. It is unclear what caused the senator's change of heart, with some speculating that Goddard's investment into Sandoller International, a nuclear technology developer included in the funding package, played a major role.
Still low the oxygen!